Girl, my clothes are falling off. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. As usual, Telly is breaking it down. Okay. This week you're all by yourself, though. Everyone, Garcia won't be joining us. She's doing some mindset stuff, so she can help us with all of our mindset when she's done her 2-day workshop on top of all of her other stuff. However, we got a lot to get through, and the stories we're talking about just get worse and worse by the day.
By the day, by the minute.
Happy Saturday.
We always bring it, don't we? We
don't have a choice because there's a lot of people who just want to kiss and don't want to tell the truth, but that's what we're here for. So happy Saturday. Again, Garcia will not be joining us this week. We will miss her, but we're going to hold down the fort. Again, if you are listening to us on Radio Regent or iHeartRadio, make sure you're following us on all of our social media, Instagram, YouTube, and our Facebook group at Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We're going to quickly introduce ourselves and get right into it.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your girl, Telly. I'm here with my Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. We talk about all the hot topics. We talk about all the foolishness on the internet, and it's coming from the only perspective you need to know, the Black perspective. What else, honey? Come on now. Go. Shiva, tell who you is, child.
Okay, as I leave my head. Okay. I am Sheba. They call me Sheba. Rob was just cussing me right before the show, telling me something, but we won't get into that. Okay, well, there was in Jamaica, anytime you talk to us bad, it's a cussing, okay? Anytime Jamaicans call everything a cuss, that's what he doesn't get. You don't talk to us in the sweet up voice, we say you're cussing us. Just so you know. You should be cussing me all the time. Okay, so I'm Toshiba. I'm technically the final female member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew, and I've got my partner in crime, our male correspondent, who will introduce himself.
Cousin Rob, and that's what's going on, everybody. Happy Saturday, like the boy. Yeah, Cousin Rob.
Yes, when you don't say sweet up face to me, you're cussing.
Oh,
cussing up a big storm. Because
yo, this show is taking a severe left totally direction. But I'm here for it.
This is not disrespect, but I think non-Jamaicans know how difficult Jamaicans are to get along with. Let's just leave it there.
You know what? And so we'll continue to moment. Okay.
Rob, you know who's a fighting word.
I didn't
you
make
know
it up.
who you're sitting next to.
Yeah, I did not make it up.
Okay.
I did not make it up.
But we will continue on. Okay. So, listen, the internet. So we're going to talk about somebody who people need not get along with later. But the internet be giving us some like tea, juice, water, lemonade, syrup, anything you can think about. Because a few weeks ago, we spoke about this young lady. Her name is Brittney Renner. She is the mother of the child for PJ Washington, who is a basketball player. She's been in the industry in her own way. She ran through a lot of ball players, and she finally got a baby.
Yep.
Now and let me be clear, she had a baby 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently her and PJ broke up 2 months ago.
Right.
But she's ready to get back out on the market. And so she had a message for Instagram land and the world about how she's ready to get into the world. But before I play that,
yes,
I'm going to say, and we've said it before on the show, Black women need to hold Black women accountable.
Agreed.
So after I'm going to tell you, I'm going to play this rant that she went on, and quite frankly, I think she's suffering from postpartum. I don't think she's well. I think she actually needs someone to take her phone away and help her get through how to raise a child alone, because that's what she's now signed up for, because she left the father. I don't think she's well. But when I see celebrities who say to her, glad you're back, sis, she's back, all of these different things, after listening to the rant that I'm about to play, this is toxic femininity at its best. Why would we not call out when we realize someone is not well? She is talking about a foolishness. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to play, again, a woman who just had a baby 4 months ago, what she has to say about what season it is right now. So,
hey y'all, it's officially stepdaddy's. I got the car in the back. Let's go to the park. Don't let your baby mama or your baby daddy park. I know in theory it sounds good keeping the same person to have kids with, but that's insanity as well. So if it doesn't work out with them, it'll work out with someone else. Okay?
Will it?
It just will. That's how that goes. And trust me, I know it's ghetto. It is so ghetto being a baby mama, and thinking about multiple baby daddies is scary. But me and my baby gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We're moving forward, onward, upward. Okay? I know a lot of you are skeptical about talking to people with children, but I can assure you, the baby mamas now, today, we don't give a damn. You can have it. I have exited the rat race. I am not threatened. I want you to be around for a long time, not a good time. You can hold my son, put him on your story. I trust his judgment. I really do. I really, really do. I just want you guys to get, I swear. I do. Now, I'm not a threat, but, you know, I can't speak for the other hoes that you don't know about. You know, maybe y'all never been in your favor. But I am here for it. Okay? Like, people move on. Say you should have got the ring first. It wasn't going to work out anyways. It just wasn't going to work out. Let's laugh together and let's raise this baby, you know? Ooh, this get down and stuff like that. In conclusion, stepdaddy season. Big aura, big lumber, big follow through needles.
Oh my God.
That's just sad.
Here's the thing. If we really listen to what she's saying, when she says, you can put him on the Instagram story, you can do whatever, I'm not a threat, but I don't know about the other. That is a direct shot at her baby father.
Yep.
Clearly her baby father has somehow moved on in some way, who knows. And this is a woman that is seriously hurt.
She is.
By this situation. And I don't understand. I'm going to ask women who've been in this situation, if you know the situation isn't going to work out before having the baby, why have the baby and then come online unhinged? Right? Like, you made a choice. You were with the father. Apparently you broke up with the father. You left him, is the word on the street.
Yeah.
He's doing what men do. But seriously, men move on. And now you're coming unhinged and other women are supporting, instead of saying to you, sis, you need some healing. How can we help you heal? That's my 2 cents, because
yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. I agree with you guys 100%. I see a young woman, she's 29, who is clearly cracked. She is sitting in her car with wearing this very interesting rainbow thing. In her face, she looks like she's not mentally there. And I know that on our call, we were talking about how, you know, Amber Rose and some other Insta baddies have come on board to say, yes, sis, welcome back to the fold. But we talk about this so much on our show where it's like, you know, the enablers, the people that, the yes people, the people that are like, yes, sis, go ahead, be crazy in public and we're going to stand right by you no matter what. And when you do finally fall off the boat, we're going to stand over here and be like, well, I knew she was going to, you know, I knew that she was going to die in the tub. I knew she was going to eat too much. I knew the coulda, woulda, shoulda. So well, if you knew that, why are you enabling her? So I do have a problem with a lot of these celebrities saying, go ahead, sis, and live your best life, being crazy in the car. I can only imagine this poor little, maybe 4-month-old baby?
4-month-old baby.
4-month-old baby, who right now, as we know, needs a mother. This baby needs a mom. This baby
Not
needs,
an Insta baddie.
not an Insta
mom.
baddie, an Insta mommy.
Insta mommy.
The baby needs an Insta mommy. And it's troubling. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. But then when I watched it again over the week, I was like, you know what? This is actually really heartbreaking. And it's really sad. I did look up something on her and PJ. Apparently, I know they're having issues with what's going on in their custody and all this stuff. And he put up a post. He has moved on to another Insta baddie, apparently, who's hella cute.
Because he's 23. Because he's a 23-year-old basketball player.
He's a young man. He's living his best life. And like most women, when they see their man, well, their ex-man move on to someone else, she's feeling, you know, the mad Black woman in her case. She's angry, she's upset, she's tortured. She feels like, oh my God, how could he do this to me? Although we know that she left him first. But I digress. She needs help. And I agree, there's some serious postpartum, there's something going on with her.
Oh man, it's so much. Like the biggest thing to me is one is like it just seemed like Shorty, like think about the setting. Like a lot of people when they want to retreat from the world, that's where they go.
Yeah.
Like you see she kinda got her leg up and stuff. So it looked like she had been in the car kinda just chilling like this. That's where she was getting her peace. Because I think that the world is real turbulent for her right now. I don't want to really focus on her. I want to focus on the mentality, like kind of what you guys were alluding to of that. Remember last week when I was saying that men seem to take the children a little more serious than women?
True.
I think this is a perfect example of that. And then they even be in the space talking about like stepdaddy or whatever, like the child ain't even bonded with his real daddy yet.
That part.
The child ain't even bonded with you yet.
That part.
Girl.
So you're talking about you haven't bonded with the child. You only have 4 months. His daddy is doing whatever. And I feel bad for him too because he's really vulnerable right now. Because I guarantee you whoever he's with does not have his best intentions at heart. Because a woman really seriously would not be off traveling and gallivanting with a guy who just had a kid 4 months ago.
No.
I'm just being 100 from my perspective.
Absolutely.
With baby mama drama and stuff like that. I'm trying to tell you, guys get hurt too and act out, and like you said, guys move on. It's usually a part of that hurt, but they say, you know, get over somebody, get on top of somebody else, you know, or under whatever you want to look at. You know, guys tend to move on like that, but it's usually jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire because he's probably going to have another kid by another chick within a year or so because she's looking for the same way Brittney is. Like you looking like an easy check right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she had dropped the bait. Well, not even saying like, because again, this man is, but you're not protecting this stuff. Let's put it like that. You're obviously not really protecting. And for her, like I said, I was kind of supportive. You know, I was like, I ain't mad at her or that comment or her attitude or nothing. And I don't really feel that bad for her now because when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. So you talk about basketball players are stupid. Again, you weren't trying to identify a stable, suitable, like, I don't even know what she are. I thought she was breaking up with him because she was wanting to focus on family and being a mother, not stepdaddy. Right. So I'm
so confusing.
I'm so confused.
That's the confusing part.
I don't understand any of it.
And here's the thing. I think a lot of women need to be very clear. Rob said it, we'll say it again. No man is trying to take up the responsibility of someone else, especially that soon. No. Ain't no man coming in right now, as bad as Brittney Renner is, and the girl is bad. For whatever your definition of bad is, she bad enough that she made money off of being bad, right? Yeah. So that's my definition. I don't care if you're light skin, dark skin, whatever you are, big, whatever you are. You making money off of putting up some pictures on Instagram, you bad enough to me, okay? So she's bad enough where she has made money and made reputation of herself just from posting some pictures on Instagram and her book cover.
Yep.
However, even then, no man is ready to jump into the frying pan with her to help her raise somebody else's baby she couldn't stay with.
That's what bothers
women want to do that.
No, hell no.
They're not geared that way. So it's not stepdaddy season. It's Born with Your Baby season. Sorry, girl.
And I would say the number of women capable of doing that is not what
it's very thin.
Thank you.
But again, you had, man, like 40, 50 years ago, it's not like illegitimate kids or secret families or none of this stuff is not new.
No.
But it was being handled way differently, way out in the public and way all in the streets and on Facebook and stuff like that. And who's getting hurt in it? The children.
The kid. And that's what bothers me, guys. Because when she's like, you know, I trust you to take my kid and take photos and hang out with it and post on your stories like it's a Hermes handbag. I'm just here like, shit, what the hell is wrong with you?
You trust she said, I trust the baby's judgment.
And she's okay with that. She's
no,
out of that race, just throwing her kid to any man to just take a photo with it like it's a lion cub.
Or any woman. Here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I was very protected over mine. Me and my daughter's father broke up a little bit after she was 1. Mm-hmm. And I was not okay with some women just coming and bringing her energy all over my pitney. Much as these days, taking my pitney and putting pictures of my baby on Instagram and all of this stuff. And no!
Absolutely not.
Because you don't want everybody's energy around your child.
There are some messed up people on this planet. You have to be careful. This is your child. You carried this baby for 9 months. You're just going to throw your kid to anyone that will take it. There are some evil people out there, sis. Why are you giving your baby to anybody and anybody to hold?
A lot of women don't like Brittney Renner.
A lot of women don't.
So if she thinks this other thank you, are just going to be like, oh, this is a work. They still see this baby as an obstacle. So you're going to trust that PJ, did PJ have good judgment with you? Maybe not. Or you're going to trust that he's going to have good judgment in the next woman to be having your baby around? 4 months. The baby's 4 months old. So both are naive yet. And this poor baby. That's all. I ain't got no more to say about her. But we have another nincompoop that we have to talk about. Listen, Brittney, we wish you the best, girl. We hope you get better. Please get some help. Please surround yourself with people who are going to help you. Motherhood is hard.
It is.
Motherhood is difficult. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Motherhood is the hardest job on the face of this earth. And if you think 4 months is enough to get you prepared to be going out there and throwing it, you are wrong. So I pray for you and this baby, and that you and PJ get it together, because we do not need another black man out into this world troubled. Okay? So, okay? Like you said, okay?
Okay.
In her word. Now, we have another nincompoop. Let me tell you something.
Girl.
I have to bring myself. As West Indians, there are certain things that we know that other cultures don't know. Like as those from Nigeria, Ghana, Sudan, Angola, you know, the different parts of Africa. They know certain things about their culture, their men, their women. If you're from Venezuela, Argentina, like Latin women are going to know certain things about their culture depending on the country that they're from that I'm not going to know.
Exactly.
Right? There are a lot of things that happen within Black women who are from the Caribbean that Black American women know nothing about.
Exactly.
Okay? They just don't get it. They don't understand it. I don't understand certain, I don't even know want to call it cultures, but certain traditions of Black American women. Not my place, don't understand it. Okay? Nicki Minaj, this idiot, she decided to put out a tweet that has caused so much uproar. It is incredible. And I'm going to read it shortly. And I'm going to talk about the backlash that has happened. This is a woman who claims to love her home country, her cultural country, our people them country, Trinidad. But what she's done to Trinidad by this one action and her subsequent reactions to this action has become a worldwide spectacle. And I read an article today where they actually called her a nincompoop. A word I have not heard.
I haven't heard that word in donkey years. They call her nincompoop.
They called her a nincompoop.
Oh.
The funniest thing I've read today.
Wow.
So this all started because people had questions as to why Nicki was not going to the Met Gala this week.
Right.
Nicki has been famous for going to the Met Gala. Her outfits are beautiful. We all know though COVID, and Nicki has like a young child. Okay? So to me, those two things alone, I don't need an explanation. Girl, you got your picnic at home and it's
Nothing
COVID.
That's it.
Nothing to explain.
No.
But she felt pressured, I guess, enough to explain and decided to put out this tweet.
Oh, God.
My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied.
How's that not bullying? This whole COVID shit got me so annoyed and frustrated. Seriously. Look, the decision to have a vaccine or not have a vaccine does not make you more intelligent or less intelligent than anyone else. It's a personal freaking choice.
Thank you.
Understand? Like, I'm so sick and tired of, it's become like a religion or something like that. All this evangelism and crap like that. It's a personal decision. I'm not a big fan of vaccines, and the way that this process went was rather roughshod. But polio, rubella,
chickenpox,
the mumps, the measles. There's certain diseases our kids don't get anymore because of vaccine. All right, but that when I read that, I'm like, what the hell is she even saying? First of all, what does the cousin in Trinidad got to do with anything? Then it's her cousin in Trinidad's friend who was about to get married. What is this about? This is so like stupid to me. Like, I'm so frustrated with this entire topic because it's so many things. Who cares about Nicki Minaj cousin friend? Like, oh my God, the world has actually become in an uproar because of Nicki Minaj cousin friend. She need to be worried about that lady that's coming for their family because of the shenanigans they've been trying to pull, covering up her husband's whatever. He got a past, okay? And rather than own it and fess up to it, they're trying to whitewash it and erase it. And why aren't you focused on that? Instead of your cousin friend and his swollen testicles and his wedding in Trinidad.
Listen, if you are American or non-West Indian, let me tell you something about West Indian man. Them lie.
Lie to them.
Lie. Okay? The cousin never want to get married to the damn woman. Translation, the cousin didn't want to get married. And so he went and told the most blatant lie possible for the gal to call off the wedding. Okay? This was not about no vaccine, cousin, friend, sister, auntie did like Nicki Minaj sounds like woman in church that hands out the hard candy with the hat on her head that gossips about every single person that passes the walk to them too. Yes, Barbara, you didn't know I said Gerald down the street. You see how that's what Nicki Minaj sounded like.
That's basically what it is.
My cousin.
That's what it is.
Friend.
Like, you are globally recognized celebrity, like, and it's, again, these are your feelings though, Nicki, but you're kicking the can down, you're throwing your cousin, friend under the bus is what you're doing. Because, again, this is annoying.
Telly, can you do us a favor? Because we're going to pause for a second and read some of the comments that people are saying for those who are on the radio. Because I need a moment before I play the next clip.
I'm scared of the next clip. So we're talking about Nicki Minaj and her interesting facts that she decided to put up on Insta or on Twitter. We're seeing here Rocksmack. She did not know what to say. That's for sure. Happy Fierce. I think she's saying and doing stuff to deflect her husband's situation.
That part.
She's saying right now, her husband is a child molester. But I do agree that she's saying a lot of things to deflect what's going on in her own personal life. Like, because you are a full-on A-list celebrity. People know you left, right, and center. I agree with when you said that she didn't need no explanation for why she wasn't attending the Met Gala. She doesn't owe anyone anything. She's a mom, period. That's it. No one needs to know why other reason she needed to attend. With her saying that, well, my cousin's friend and so on and so on and so on, to me it just sounds like a little kid that said, oh yeah, well, my mom's sister's cousin's brother's boyfriend's ex-aunt said that you're da-da-da-da-da. Like, so you're going to a source, from another source, that this happened to them, and you're going to take that as Bible and run with it, telling the whole world that the vaccine caused my friend to have their testicles all of a sudden mash up because of the vaccine. It's to the point where now poor Trinidad and Tobago had to shut down to investigate.
Yo, some newspaper somewhere had a title that said Nicki Minaj cousin said.
That's
Nicki Minaj cousin.
Nicki Minaj cousin said. Like she only got one cousin.
And because he said it, it's right.
It's gotta be Bible.
It's gotta be Bible.
No, Nicki said it. That's, like I said, let's put it back to where it starts.
Nicki
and where it
said
should be into. Nicki said it. But she wanted to blame her cousin friend with the swollen testicles.
And I'm gonna have Kelly reset the room for a second, because the other half, I need those of people who are not West Indian to understand the impact of this tweet out to millions of people. But before we do that, Telly, reset the room for us, girl.
Yeah, girl, the room needs to reset a little. We want to give a huge thank you for joining us right here on Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We are a group of individuals who bring the realness to you, because y'all need it, and we're here to bring it. We're on Radio Regent, girl. Listen to our podcast. It's on every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Radio Regent in syndication with iHeartRadio. Yes, y'all. We're on iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio today. Netflix tomorrow. It's happening, y'all. So anyway, don't forget to follow Not Your Typical Girl Talk on our Facebook, right here on Instagram, and also on YouTube. And on YouTube, we want to get our numbers up, so subscribe, comment, share, get back into it. So here we go, guys. We're going to get back into this conversation about Nicki Minaj and her BS about God knows, I can't bother.
So Kelly mentioned it earlier, okay? Trinidad had to do something that Trinidad wouldn't have had to do if Nicki Minaj never opened a rotted big mouth. And just because I'm live, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to Google the population.
Yeah, please do.
Trinidad. So you guys get to understand the impact of when this woman tweets to, I want to say it's 20 million or how much Twitter followers she has. So Trinidad has 1.395 million people. Nicki Minaj's Instagram following is about 15 to 20 times the amount of people.
I believe she has 22 million Twitter followers, whatever you call them.
Okay. The whole country of Trinidad has 1.395 million people. Toronto, I think, has 2.5 million people. So take away half of Toronto's population, and that is what the entire island of Trinidad has. Okay? The island of Trinidad, just like most West Indian countries, depend on what?
Tourism.
They depend on trade from other countries. The CDC has a bunch of islands. I didn't check if Trinidad was on it, but I know Jamaica is on it. Countries where they're saying do not travel to these islands right now. Why? Because the island people are not getting the vaccines at the rate of American and some of these Western countries.
Right.
I will tell you, as a Jamaican born in Jamaica, we don't like to put certain things in our body.
True.
When you get sick, we don't run for Tylenol. There's some bush out there somewhere that somebody has that your grandmother can boil.
Yep, something.
Thank you.
Yep.
They can boil something, put something in it, and bye-bye, you're sick. So it is not, even though we get vaccinated when we're younger, that's not something that's forced for school.
That's it.
Okay? If we have a choice, Jamaicans are not, and West Indian people are not known for necessarily lining up to get, we call it poison in our arms.
Yep.
So when you, Nicki Minaj, go out and speak on something, when the people of these islands already are skeptical, and there is nothing worse for a West Indian man than not being able to use his body. Okay, that's penis in translation for you non-West Indian people. You don't have a West Indian man saying can't use his body if him get the vaccine. Guess what? Him no want go. Him woman no want him go. Him woman no want him go. Him picnic want him. Like, nobody will want him to go get a vaccine.
That's it.
Because he can't use his body. So that's what you told. That's what you told the island of Trinidad and every other surrounding island that is there. Men get the vaccine on the can't use in the body. What kind of irresponsible nonsense is that?
Girl, I wish I knew.
In translation, for you non-West Indians, basically what Nicki Minaj said to men across these islands, I'm going to look at Rob and say, Rob, if you get the vaccine, we will never be able to be intimate anymore because you're about to be impotent. How many men you know running up and signing up for that?
0. No one signed
that
up.
That is what her tweet told a bunch of gallus men. That's what West Indian men are. When gallus means they love lots of women. Yep. You're going to tell that when you know, Nicki, that it's false. You as a West Indian woman knew that story didn't make sense. The man simply didn't want to marry the woman anymore. He did not become impotent. How I digress.
Girl, no, yeah.
This is the result, though. So now Trinidad is literally gone viral.
Oh, yeah.
The Minister of Health in Trinidad, I'm about to play you the press conference, had to have a full press conference to respond to Nicki Minaj. And this is the press conference.
Oh, God.
One of the reasons
Hold on.
One of the reasons we could not respond yesterday in real time to Ms. Minaj is that we have to check and make sure that what she was claiming was either true or false. We did, and unfortunately, we wasted so much time yesterday running down this false claim. It is, as far as we know, at this point in time, there has been no such reported either side effect or adverse event. And what was sad about this is that it wasted our time yesterday trying to track down, because we take all these claims seriously, whether it's on social media or mainstream media. As we stand now, there is absolutely no reported such side effect or adverse event of testicular swelling in Trinidad, or I dare say, Dr. Hanks, anywhere else. None that we know of anywhere else in the world. One of the reasons we could not respond yesterday.
The Minister of Health in Trinidad had to have a whole press press conference
Man.
over that.
I'm just also seeing here, thank you, Naturally Fear. She said that people were demonstrating in front of the CDC in Atlanta, all because of Nicki's foolish tweet.
Let me be clear what they were saying. They said, as they were protesting, Nicki Minaj says, Nicki Minaj says, Nicki Minaj says. That was their tagline.
Nicki Minaj says.
I can't. This thing is just bringing out a level of idiocy of people that don't even make no level. And hence the statement, everyone reads the accusation, nobody reads the retractment.
Yeah.
That's why you had the 22 million people saw her tweet about the balls, and 2,200 people saw that Trinidad and Tobago press conference, where they're saying there's literally no one here. She don't even got a cousin in Trinidad. They can't even, like, that's basically what he was saying. Is like, look, man, we take this very seriously. We tried to find anybody, the Minajes, the Mirages, the Tripages, the whoever's, you know, anybody, all your family ties, we done ran them all down. Nobody. So you mean, so then, and again, in the average person's mind, what they're hearing though is, well, maybe he didn't go to the hospital. Maybe he didn't want to report it. So he's sitting there with big swollen balls, and he won't get no help from nowhere.
Now you see this? Like, it's just getting big. This whole thing is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the days go by.
Here's the problem. It actually got worse. And I'm gonna pause for dramatic.
Girl, I'm scared, but okay.
It got, so Nicki decided to double down.
Of course.
And CNN,
reporters
from CNN went to Trinidad because they didn't want to find Nicki Minaj's cousin friend.
Bring the cousin forward.
CNN was in town trying to find the source of the swollen balls. Okay. So a local reporter from Trinidad, okay, reaches out to someone to find out if they are indeed the cousin who Nicki Minaj heard this from. And I'm going to read what happened. But essentially, she was saying CNN is in town.
Yep.
And I want to basically interview you because we can't necessarily guarantee that CNN is not going to put your business out of there. CNN is an international source. And if anybody's going to broach the story, it should be someone from the country who understands the culture. Yep. And that's the part about what people, stop putting your lens on other people's culture.
Thank you.
As an American, he doesn't understand my culture. No. He thinks some of the stuff is funny, but when I explain to him why I do some of the things that I do, he's like, babe, I get it. I get it.
Well,
that's it.
I get it.
He gets it, and he respects it, and he moves on.
It's fundamental, though. Like, I truly believe, like, even down to the homeless guy sleeping under the underpass, when you're sitting there looking at him like, what are you doing with your life? He's sitting there looking back at you, asking the same questions.
Exactly.
What are you doing with your life? Why you get up every day and put on a shirt and go to work and wear pants and all of that stuff? Like, your perspective fits you. That's it. That's it.
That's it. Different perspectives. And you just respect whatever that perspective is and you move along.
Well, some people have the ability to respect other people's perspectives and some people don't.
Well, unfortunately.
So unfortunately. Now, so the reporter's name is Charlene Rampersad. And for those watching who, again, don't understand and have ties to Trinidad or the West Indies, the Indian culture is rampant through these countries.
Yep.
You guys may call them Indians, we call them West Indians or Coolie. Okay? Mm-hmm. Trinidad, you're going to hear a lot of Indian sounding names because Trinidad and Tobago has a history of Indian people there. So before I even go on, some of the ignorance that was said about the Minister of Health from Americans was astounding. Somebody really went and tweeted, how is Trinidad going to say anything when they have a white man running that health department? The man is not white. He's Trinidadian, and Trinidadian people have Indian heritage. But first of all, they called it the Prime Minister of Health, but I digress. Anyways, let me go in and read this.
Gosh.
Hi, good day. My name is Charlene Rampersand, and I'm a reporter with Guardian Media. I was hoping to speak to you for an article. Would that be possible? Was it your friend Nicki was speaking about in her tweet? Mr. Daniel, question mark. Hey, good evening. Have you considered speaking to me? I'm also hoping I have a conversation with your friend. I know you're hesitant to speak with us, but just letting you know, CNN is in the country looking for you. And when they find you, they won't hesitate to reveal where you live or where your girlfriend lives. Anything and anyone who's tied to you. If you speak to me, we won't reveal those details. So what do you say? Thoughts on that interaction before I tell you what Nicki went and did?
Well, she's obviously got a what's in it for her, and that she's going to break the story. But again, I think she's saying it like always us, never them type of mentality, which I think that Black people should have more of, honestly. Like always us, never
I
them.
agree.
That's why we don't get nowhere.
100%.
Right? If I'm going to speak to somebody, speak to the person, again, in my country who understands my culture. That's what I'm personally going to do. I'm not necessarily going to reveal something about stuff that happens back home in Jamaica to someone who won't understand how West Indian culture or Jamaican culture is. That doesn't make any sense because they're going to skew it with their lens of how they see things.
That's it.
So
Nicki
Minaj doubled down.
Oh, geez.
She now put out, I'm just going to quickly show people because this is from the Shade Room because they found it because she tweeted. Threatening my family in Trinidad won't bode well for you. In Trinidad, harassing my family. I didn't want to give details, but now I will. They're forcing my family to have to hide out. This is what speaking up looks like. Millions of poor people are treated this way by the people you think are the good guys. This is unconscionable. Charlene Rampersad. Beep. Your days are numbered, you dirty. Beep. Charlene, pick up your phone. Oh. Charlene Rampersand deleted her Twitter. Why? Didn't you want some traction? You want to speak to my family but won't speak with me? Then she goes on to say, you're harassing my family, question mark. Speak up in bold, in all in caps. Speak up before I begin. I know you see this. The reporter, who she had to shut down her Twitter because people were threatening her, she went back to Nicki in one of her final tweets and said, what Nicki Minaj either does not know or does not care about is Trinidad and Tobago is currently under a state of emergency. Many business sectors are closed and have been for months on end. Vaccination is our way out. Nicki Minaj responds, dumb piece of shh. You use threats and manipulation. I also want to know how CNN feels about you including them in this for your own personal agenda. The reporter responds. I said the Guardian would not reveal private information. That is not a threat. I was simply saying that speaking to the Guardian is a better option than letting CNN find them and disclose private information. Nicki Minaj. Leave my family alone, you effing goof. Deal with me. Y'all don't want me to say what I know. You can bully them, but deactivate it when I got involved. Charlene responds. When you use your international platform to spread lies, you hurt us. We aren't some island fantasy you can get to bring up if you're bored. 1,391 people have died from COVID-19 here. Leave us alone now.
I mean, Nicki's just, again, it's got people not talking about Kenneth, one.
Or her pedophile brother.
Thank you.
That part. Well,
he's in jail, but
again, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
a pedophile brother.
This is again a lot of that where in this culture we live in, people would rather hear what they want to hear than what's actually solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, her brother did what he did. That's you brought him up. Her brother did what he did. She tried to protect him from the ramifications of what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, look here, when you do certain things, you shouldn't be able to walk around freely and willy-nilly. There should be some social scorn and some you should kind of be a pariah for doing certain things. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we're talking about, where that's not bullying, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is kind of crazy to me. Like, you think is you can scream fire in a crowded movie theater, and when somebody calls you to task on it, they're bullying you? Because what you're saying is like, oh, this is what happens when you speak up, when you just voice your opinion. No, that's not what you were doing. You weren't saying pro my choice. You were saying anti other people's choices. That's what this thing is all going about.
Exactly.
If you want to advocate, I'm all with being pro whatever you want to be. It's when you start converting that energy into anti the things on the other side of that, that's when it's problematic. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. It's
be
funny because
whatever you want to be, but just don't be but then don't try to stifle those on the other side of the coin. Let them have their same voice.
Exactly. And also, I just want to chat about, once again, from Naturally Fierce. She said that she's stirring up a lot of stuff for the country I'm sure she does nothing for.
Yeah.
I mean,
that part. You know what?
Sorry,
when
Nicki,
Rob
but it's
said
true.
protect, you're part of her. Again, she will, when she's on BT Awards or anything else, and she has an opportunity to talk about Jamaica or Trinidad, and she wants to wave the flags and go on the stage and do the most, she's trying to do that. But she didn't think about the ramifications for a country with, again, 15 times less or 20 times less the amount of Instagram followers you have. The ramifications on this country is vast. Vast. You have a minister of health who has to spend time to debunk something that wouldn't have needed to be debunked had you just kept your mouth shut.
Well, that's why she did it. I'm sure before she did that, she was like, "Don't nobody care about no Trinidad." I just,
agree.
you know, like it's like it's like the little meek kid at school that no one pays attention to. But you picked on him, and it turns out his brother is the middle linebacker for the high school, and he came and did something to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she didn't get. She came for Trinidad thinking, ain't nobody going to defend Trinidad. Ain't nobody going to protect Trinidad. Don't nobody care about Trinidad. And Trinidad responded with that same kind of energy.
But the problem is she's Trinidadian. She will talk about it,
that's
explain it, and like, that's the problem.
Well, her name is what, Mirage or something like that?
Minaj.
No, really.
Onika.
No, her last name.
Oh,
never mind. Yeah.
Minaj. Here's the thing, and I want to speak to those who don't understand West Indian culture or the West Indies. Let me be very clear. Most of the Caribbean does not have a social welfare system. There is no government check to receive. Okay? There is no housing to apply for. There is no EBT, no WIC, no whatever it is when you are in need. Okay? There are kids that woke up this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and went with their family to markets to gut fish and do all the things so that their family can sell and make money. Okay? So when Nicki Minaj exercises her freedom of speech for the Americans who were talking about she has freedom of speech and what are people talking about it, they're just trying to bring her down. Her freedom of speech is impacting people in a way that you will never understand because you want to look through your American lens of how the world is. When tourism doesn't happen, there are families who cannot eat and may not have a place to live. It is an infrastructure that is needed. When the CDC puts you again on a list of places not to travel to, people are not going to go there. So her freedom of speech has had a detrimental impact for a country she claims to love. A country that, unlike North America, doesn't have a fallback. The government is cutting you a check because the world was shut down.
Okay.
I just don't understand how, like, if an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, I can understand the decision completely. I support the decision. Anybody out there that doesn't want to get the vaccine, don't. Do you?
Yeah,
Don't get it.
absolutely.
But please tell
Blood
me
spill.
how someone else
It's fine.
getting it is hurting you. How is somebody else getting a vaccine hurting you? That's that. I don't understand.
When did they become
energy?
sheep? Like
You
now
know
you're
what I'm
sheep.
saying?
You're part of the government conspiracy.
Like we were,
blah, blah, blah.
we were killing Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for not bathing. But imagine if they was on Instagram like, y'all bathing? Y'all are crazy. Why y'all taking all them baths? That like no one would even entertain that dumb shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking?
What's wrong with you?
Because people bathe, fool. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got the vaccine, because I might still catch COVID, but I don't want to die. So
that's it. Look, yo,
everyone
has a choice.
If there's some toxins floating around in my body or tracking devices or whatever you tinfoil hat people
Honestly,
got, then I'm going to just deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I'm going to just deal with that.
Anyone that thinks...
And I have my tinfoil theories, but they're not necessarily as COVID or flat earth or some of this other dumb shit that's getting kicked around here on the internet. And all of this vaccine sinisterness,
it's ridiculous.
It's kind of ridiculous.
And it's also the other way. Like because I'm vaccinated, I'm not going to turn around and say, you unvaccinated people have cooties.
Don't.
You.
No, you can still come by, you can chill. I'll pass my blunt to you still. But don't try to shade me or make me feel like I'm dumb.
Well, that's the problem. Everybody got this whole protest outside the hospitals, chasing people down, going up to people's cars and saying, oh, why are you getting vaccinated? Anyone that feels that they're tracking you when they give you an injection, you should be shot. The government's watching you.
No,
it's crazy.
As long as you have a cell phone, a SIM number, you're breathing air, the government knows you, ho. So anyone that feels,
you got a cell phone. They got all
you have a cell phone.
How? I'd like
you
to know.
Telly, I'm gonna let you breathe from that rant because you are the same cell phone that they're using to tweet, YouTube, Instagram, IG Live, write the nonsense, is the same device that's actually tracking you.
The NSA has full access to that device.
They've been tracking you. So if you really feel that taking the vaccine is going to make them all of a sudden follow you, you got TV, you talk to your remote, they got your voice, they got your eye, they got everything. They got your fingerprints. Come on. You
have to fall off the grid. Literally, where there are no cell towers and nothing around.
But
girl, even then,
real talk.
Even then they'll find you.
But it's like we had an issue with anti-vaxxer isn't something that just came into the lexicon. No. Like we had issues with this going back probably 7 or 8 years. California started it with kind of, and they were having the school districts because all of a sudden people were reading a lot of WebMD and they were looking down on people with doctorates and medical degrees and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I've been doing some research. You know, I know you went to school for 12 years, but WebMD said, so I think those 10 meetings, I don't think we're going to do that. You know? Cool. Do you. You know what I'm saying? I'm all supportive of it. So this was a horrible time for us to be going into a pandemic because we had this high rising level of distrust of vaccines for diseases that we know they work against.
Exactly.
I didn't see down with the polio vaccine anytime because again, people limbs ain't crossing over and they not hunchbacks and in wheelchairs because polio is not decimating the population like it was doing in the 20s and 30s.
That's it.
Do a little reading. Google also has history, folks. You know what I'm saying? If you're curious about what actually has happened historically, you can find that out for yourself. And history does go back prior to 2007. I know like a lot of, you know, especially younger people think that history started in like 1999, but that's not actually accurate either. You know what I'm saying? Like this situation really does really on a certain level frustrate. So again, we were having a horrible time to be coming in and get people to be like encouraging this vaccine. and it was rushed through, and I get it, black people, we don't, Tuskegee Airmen, we don't trust people. But in order for this vaccine to be, it had to be highly targeted or highly engineered, and it wasn't none of that. It was just some stuff somebody was screwing around with, and it got loose. Because we all know that behind these labs, they playing with all kind of horrible diseases, and this one happened to get out.
Thank you, Rob.
And
Exactly.
I don't think we're done with it yet.
We're not.
So again, while we're having these spikes and waves in all these other places, you still have people sitting around wanting to shame people for trying to protect themselves, and I can't do that. So if you don't want to get vaccinated,
do you?
But please don't try to shame other people out of the decision, because me personally, I believe that that's the only way for us to get out of this bullshit.
Well, Nicki Minaj cousin said so.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj cousin said.
So cousin's friend, Nicki Minaj cousin's friend said. We're gonna wrap up because listen, I do want people to, and I'm gonna be clear. I'm not one of those people who think that celebrities have a responsibility to people.
Right.
I don't think I'm not one of those people who say my responsibility is on Nicki Minaj about what she says about this and that and showing her what my daughter watches. That is a parent's job.
Right.
However, this is very different what she did. This was a whole different scenario. This was misspeaking on a country already facing economic peril because of what's happening from a rumor that as a Trinidadian woman isn't true. You know it. Americans may not understand the culture, but you do. So said nothing wrong with him balls. Again, he simply didn't want to get married. But you took that and ran with it to give an explanation to something that didn't need an explanation. And now the country you say you so love, again, waving flags and BET awards and I'm Trinidadian and this and that and the next thing. Now this country, the entire country, is facing an impact of your words. Girl, bye.
Yeah, it's a shame. It'll be interesting to see. No, what you said is truth. It'll be interesting to see what happens now, because instead of her apologizing and even saying, you know what, y'all, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said what I said. I am not a scientist. I am an entertainer. I would take it back, forget what I said, to go about your merry way. Instead of just doing that and being the bigger woman, she's now taking out her frustrations on the journalist. She's doubling down, saying, I'm gonna, watch your step, and I'm gonna threatening people online. And it's not a nice day to be Nicki Minaj. And I don't know. I feel bad for the country of Trinidad and Tobago, because, like you were saying, especially now with COVID, it's difficult to travel anywhere. And they're beautiful beaches. It's a beautiful country, and they rely so much on tourism and people giving money to them. Who the hell's gonna want to go down there now when you just told the whole country or the whole world, well, my cousin's friend? And it's like, okay, girl, you didn't need to say anything. Like one of our I think it was Rod Smack, she said on the beginning here, she could have said, here we go. If she said she is not taking it because she is breastfeeding, that would have sounded better.
Thank you.
Just it could have ended.
Not that she owed an explanation, but that would have been enough.
And that's it. She didn't have to go any further.
Listen, is that your final word, Telly? Do you have another final word?
Yeah, I do. Just, I know emotions get into people. I get it. But think before you speak and think before you type. You don't know the future. You don't know things for fact. You don't know things for Bible. So before you go to your social media and start typing your whole anthology of what you feel is right, you may want to reread it before you push send and really decipher what you're doing, because you have no idea who you're hurting when you put these things out there online. And once you put it out there, that's it. The internet does not forget. You may forget, but the internet won't let you. So just be careful what you're putting out there, because you're literally destroying a whole country.
I like the word you use, hurt, because actually what I was going to say is hurt people hurt people. Brittney Renner is hurt about what's going on in her personal life. Mm-hmm. And that is showing in her downward spiral because there's other videos on her Instagram after that one that's actually even worse. Oh, and Nicki Minaj is hurt because her husband is in a situation that I'm sure she'd rather him not be. And that information actually came up the day after the Met Gala about him having to plead guilty for violation of probation on his rape charge back from 1994. So hurt people hurt people.
Because they've been hiding it, trying to hide
Thank you.
Instead of trying to just face it and deal with it and get it behind them, they try to bury it.
That is, so to add to that point, face our issues, face our problems head on, because when we don't, what we're doing is creating a whole heap of mess that unfortunately, like you said, the internet never forgets. Rob, what cuss out Rob with your name today?
Insta family, Instagram family. This is just from my experience, I'm not nobody, but I have played basketball. I've traveled a little bit. I have had the opportunity to meet some celebrities and stuff like that. Let me give y'all a piece of it. These people stupid. These people are not smart. And I'm not saying not about these matters. We're talking about science. Why do we care what Tom Cruise thinks about or Maverick? Why do we care what Maverick thinks about the vaccine? Anthony Fauci been for the last year up there trying to talk to people, trying to educate people. Nobody wants to listen to him.
But Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj, man. Nicki Minaj. And it gets this discussion going science is good. Hearsay is bad.
Hearsay is bad, y'all. It's bad.
That is a perfect way to end. I'm telling you to end the show, but without Garcia, I'm going to end it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been an amazing episode. Thank you for those who were commenting, Naturally Cheers, Rock Smack. Again, make sure you are following our social media, the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Join us live every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to come on the show, you can email us at notyourtypicalgirltalk@gmail.com or send us a message, DM us, drop into our DMs, and let us know that you want to talk.
Oh! Sorry, guys, I thought we froze here. Okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Oh, there you are. There you are. I'm like, no!
Listen, they don't want us to be great, okay? But we listen. We are not Nicki Minaj.
Instagram's trying it.
Right?
I just see Nicki Minaj coming when he saw that spit out his Sprite or whatever he was drinking, like, oh,
you were supposed to get that.
I'm the only cousin you got in Trinidad.
So, have a great Saturday, and it's got to be better than Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's balls.